favorite breakfast foods. Lately, I've been eating fish, just poached fish for breakfast, like salmon or cod. And it's delicious and it's healthy and a wonderful way to start the day. But as a skinny young model, I think I was 116 pounds, living in Paris, my ultimate breakfast was just this: a flaky, light croissant with apricot jam. I went back to Paris this summer, visiting my favorite museums, going to flea markets, and attended some of the haute couture fashion shows. It was especially fun because my friend and colleague, Kevin Sharkey, came with me. All week long, I'll be showing you different parts of our trip. First, a trip down memory lane. Why don't you come along? Bonjour, it's Martha. I'm standing in Paris, the most beautiful city in the world. Come join me as I explore the fashion, the food, the museums, and all of this beautiful, beautiful city. Paris is visited by 26 million people every year, making it the world's most popular tourist destination. The Seine River divides the city into two sections, connected by 37 beautiful bridges, giving Paris its romantic and very artistic appearance. The left bank is reminiscent of Paris's past, with narrow, winding streets and medieval architecture, while the right bank is much more palatial in structure and lifestyle. The city is further divided into 20 numbered boroughs called arrondissements. I took residence in the 6th many, many years ago. Bonjour. Walking up the Rue de Tournon really just brings back so many memories. Just at the risk of dating myself, in 1960, I came to Paris as a 19-year-old to model. It was so much fun to hang out with the other models, pose for the French photographers, and appear in French publications. I lived right up there, Kevin, and that was the Hotel Scandinavie. Downstairs here on the first floor was a restaurant called Le Paysan. It had jambon and saucisson and all things hanging from the ceiling. It was like I had never seen anything like it, and thousands of kinds of cheeses, all artisanal cheeses. Very similar to what's going on in New York right now. And it was way back then. I had a great time.
Was it hard to come back to the States if you had food like that downstairs?
Oh, my eyes were opened, and they never closed.
What else was on this street?
Well, this street is famous because it was like a hotbed of design and antiquities. It's filled with antique bookstores, ateliers of wonderful small designers. And there is the Hotel Luxembourg and the Luxembourg Gardens behind. It was originally built way back in 1615 by Marie de Medici. She was the wife of Henry IV, and it was built to remind her of all that beautiful architecture in Florence. But she brought Rubens tapestries and fantastic paintings. And then it became a prison. Then the Luftwaffe during World War II was housed here.
Scary.
Oh, it is frightening. And now it is the home of the French Senate. It was time to take my friend Kevin Sharkey on a tour of the world-famous Luxembourg Gardens, a 60-acre oasis dedicated to the children of Paris by none other than Napoleon Bonaparte. Now, this is called a parterre. And you can see, well, it's very formal, small beds laid out in a sort of geometry. And then they have this beautiful edge of boxwood, miniature boxwood. Paris is full of beautiful parks. It is full of beautiful monuments and beautiful buildings. But look, I mean, look.
Wow.
Look what you see. That's the Pantheon. Isn't it incredible that you look up an alley of trees, those are chestnut trees, and you see the Pantheon? We were very lucky to see this very unusual sculpture by Lotte Henners. It's called Water Mobile Venus, on temporary display in the famous Medici fountain. Now look how the water is on it. It looks like it's on an angle, and you think that it's much, much longer than it actually is because of the perspective of the water.
So
very
great.
Shallow here, goes deeper and deeper and deeper there. Now look at the octagonal lake.
So beautiful. I wish we had something like this in New York.
This is the way I remember Paris. Although some of my favorite little shops are no longer there and some of the restaurants have disappeared, so much has remained the same. And for me, it's still and will always be one of the greatest cities in the world.